Not everyone who is kind is good, and not everyone who smiles has good intentions. In fact, some of the most manipulative people you will ever meet appear incredibly kind at first. They are polite, helpful, charming, generous. They say exactly what people want to hear. And that is precisely what makes them dangerous. Because genuine kindness comes from character. Fake kindness comes from strategy. One seeks connection, the other seeks control. And if you cannot tell the difference, you become vulnerable to people whose kindness is only a mask hiding motives they would never reveal openly. Why people trust kindness so quickly? Humans are naturally drawn to kindness. It signals safety, trust, acceptance, connection. When someone treats us warmly, our defenses lower automatically. We become more open, more forgiving, more willing to trust. And most of the time, this works well. Because genuine kindness is one of the strongest foundations of healthy relationships. But there is a problem. The human brain often assumes kindness and good intentions are the same thing. They are not. A person can act kind while pursuing selfish goals. A person can appear caring while secretly manipulating others. And because kindness creates trust so quickly, it can become an incredibly effective disguise. Fake kindness is often transactional. One of the biggest differences between genuine kindness and fake kindness is expectation. Truly kind people help because they want to. Fake kind people help because they want something in return. Sometimes that reward is obvious. Money, influence, favors. But often it is psychological. Attention, validation, control, admiration. The problem is that fake kindness rarely announces its conditions. Instead, the conditions appear later. Suddenly the person expects loyalty, special treatment, emotional compliance. And when those expectations are not met, their kindness begins to disappear. Because it was never a gift, it was an investment. And now they expect a return. Fake kind people study what others want. Manipulative individuals are often excellent observers. They pay attention to emotional needs, insecurities, desires, weaknesses, and then they present themselves accordingly. If someone wants support, they become supportive. If someone wants validation, they become validating. If someone wants understanding, they become understanding. At first this feels comforting, almost perfect, but sometimes the kindness feels too precise, too strategic, too carefully designed, because the goal is not always connection. Sometimes the goal is access. The more trust they gain, the more influence they gain, and influence creates opportunity for control. Fake kindness often disappears under pressure. The easiest way to identify fake kindness is not during good times. It is during difficult times, because masks become harder to maintain under pressure. A genuinely kind person remains respectful during conflict, disappointment, disagreement, stress. But fake kindness often collapses the moment expectations are challenged. Suddenly the warmth disappears, the patience disappears, the generosity disappears, and a completely different personality emerges. Anger, passive aggression, manipulation, resentment, because the kindness was conditional. It existed only while the situation remained beneficial. And once benefits disappear, the performance becomes difficult to maintain. Some people use kindness to create debt. One of the most subtle forms of manipulation is creating emotional debt. These individuals constantly do favors, offer help, provide support, not because they genuinely enjoy giving, but because they want leverage. Over time, the recipient begins feeling obligated, guilty, indebted, and guilt becomes a powerful tool, because people often struggle to say no to someone who has done so much for them. This allows the manipulator to influence behavior indirectly, not through force, but through obligation. And that obligation can become surprisingly difficult to escape, especially for empathetic people. Fake kind people often need to be seen as good. Genuine kindness does not always require recognition. Many genuinely kind people help others quietly, without attention, without praise, without public approval. But fake kindness often depends on visibility. These individuals want people to notice, to admire, to praise their generosity, their compassion, their sacrifice, because their image matters more than the act itself. They are not simply helping, they are building a reputation. And when recognition disappears, their motivation often weakens as well, because the reward was never kindness itself. The reward was being perceived as kind. Your intuition often notices the difference. One reason fake kindness feels unsettling is because behavior eventually creates inconsistencies. The words sound caring, but something feels off. The smile appears warm, but the energy feels calculated. The help feels generous, but somehow it comes with pressure. Most people ignore these feelings. They tell themselves they are being suspicious, unfair, negative, but often the discomfort exists for a reason. Because authenticity creates consistency. The words match the intentions. The actions match the values. Fake kindness struggles to maintain that consistency over time. Eventually the cracks appear. And when they do, the person behind the mask becomes visible. Kindness is one of the most beautiful qualities a person can possess. But not all kindness is genuine. Sometimes kindness is used as a tool, a strategy, a disguise, a way to gain trust before gaining control. That is why understanding human behavior matters. Not so you become cynical, not so you stop trusting people, but so you learn to look beyond appearances. Because genuine kindness remains consistent, even when no reward exists, even when nobody is watching, even during conflict, even during disappointment. Fake kindness cannot do that forever. Eventually the mask slips, and when it does, you discover whether the person was offering kindness or simply performing it.